with the history of Joshi Puroresu in Japan, made famous by All Japan Women's Pro Wrestling, do you feel like Stardom has surpassed AJW's heights? And I know this has been a topic that lots of people are talking about, women's wrestling around the world.
It's going to take a while for Stardom to surpass AJW, because AJW did an event at the Tokyo Dome where the gate is said to have been over $4 million, and the merchandise sales were over $1.6 million. It was an all women's wrestling show that they did in conjunction with all the Joshi promotions at the time. There was one, oddly enough, was one match with men on the show. And so Stardom's not at that point yet. What Stardom has the advantage over AJW is the internet and what the internet is. Because if AJW had the internet now, back then, AJW would still be open for about celebrating its 60th birthday soon. So Stardom has the advantage of, Bushiroad, as well as a gigantic marketing power. They showed that with New Japan that they can market professional wrestling to fans. So I think Stardom is in a great position because New Japan is showing that they're not trying to just take women out of Stardom and just put them in New Japan and have what a lot of fans in the United States complain about is one women's match a show and we never get to see them more than like 5 minutes. Yeah. Stardom is Stardom, and Stardom exists and people can go watch Stardom. And I think that's the good thing about Stardom, because I wouldn't find hard pressed to argue that they already don't have the best women's wrestling in the world. If you watch Stardom pay-per-view or Stardom events like that, they are extremely talented. They are extremely well trained, and it shows that it's like, this is wrestling. So I think they have the potential, especially now with Bushiroad's marketing, monetary backing, and now with New Japan, because the problem at the beginning was Stardom's TV rights are with a competitor of TV Asahi in Japan. That's kind of why there wasn't originally a linking together once Bushiroad bought Stardom. And there was a meeting at some point between people, and there was a deal worked out where this stuff like this could happen. I'm not privy to what that deal was. I've never even seen it reported in Japanese media what that was, but now it's happening, and Stardom is going to be coming to New Japan of America events, which that's happening at Rumble, and then they're doing crossover events in Japan as well. So I think that's only going to help the Stardom brand, and I think that's something. If you're a fan of women's wrestling and you want to see women's wrestling, I'm trying to say this in the nicest way possible.
Watch Stardom.
There's no excuses to not become familiar with Stardom and watch it, because I don't feel that companies in the United States that were built and always been featured by male wrestling are ever really going to be a place where you're going to see even 50-50 men or women constantly in the main event. I don't think that's ever really going to be a thing in those promotions, but Stardom is a women's promotion, and Stardom's always going to be that. So I think that is a place where you can watch and you can see great wrestling.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're moving in the right direction in the United States in general with women's wrestling, that there's more women, female forward promotions out there. But again, there's always a room for improvement.